Ann and I were driving out last night for a date night and got this thing on my phone that basically somebody sent me this headline. The number one show on Max's, one of the biggest streaming services out there, on Max's most popular shows list, the number one on the list is a show called Naked Attraction. I'm like, what? I've never even heard of this. What on earth is Naked Attraction? And turns out Naked Attraction is a 7-year-old British show that I had never. So our viewers in the UK are probably saying, how have you never heard of this, Campea? But yeah, no, I'd never heard of it. And most people I know never heard of it. Never heard of this thing. It's a dating show. And this image Jonathan has behind me is this is the show. Here it is. All right. This is the show. You have your main contestant, guy or girl, whatever. And if it's a straight girl and she's the contestant, they will have, I think it's 6 guys in front of her in different colored booths, right? Pink, yellow, purple, orange, red, green, whatever. And it starts with them showing the lower part of the body. This thing rises up on these cocoons these people are in, showing full frontal nudity. So it shows their legs and their junk. If it's a guy's, their hammers are just swinging freely. They're just out there. And they don't speak. Just the host and the contestant then talk about, well, I really like the legs on blue, but I think orange has a very nice penis. And they'll talk and just go over it. And then at that point, she has to select one guy to get rejected. And then they move on to the next stage, not speaking anything. I can't imagine being a guy, being on this show, and then being the first one ejected simply because they didn't like my penis. That is, you got to have some massive self-confidence to be on this show. And then it shows the midsection. So it goes up, shows their abs and their chest. And then they talk a little bit more about the abs, what they like, what they don't like. And then she's got to throw in another person. And then it shows their face. Then the third part, it goes up and shows their faces. She gets to ask them one question. They answer one question very shortly. Then she kicks off a couple more until it only comes down to 2. Once it comes down to just 2, the contestant goes off stage, undresses, and they have to come out naked. So the 2 finalists get to see them naked too. And then she picks the person. Now, unlike other stupid shows where it's like, you got to choose who you're going to marry. This is just choosing somebody to go on one date with. So they're standing there naked and they go on a date. I kid you not. Ann and I got home and we said, well, I'm going to do a story on this. We got to watch the first episode. About 8 or 9 times throughout the episode, as I'm covering my face, Ann is going, this is the greatest show ever. But anyway, in the very first episode, as they lift the part up and it just shows the guy's legs and junk, there's this one guy, and I kid you not. I have to stand up. This guy, right?
I'm glad you're wearing pants.
Right here, he had a tattoo of an elephant with his ears, and his hammer was the trunk of the elephant.
Oh, points for creativity.
The way he described it was, he actually said that's the part of his body he's embarrassed the most. He goes, never go to a Thailand bar with your buddies, get drunk, and then take a bet. But yeah, he had an elephant tattooed around his hammer package with the ears and everything, and his hammer was the trunk of the elephant. And then they did all that. Then they brought out the next contestant, a bisexual girl. So they had 3 guys and 3 women in the booths, and they go through the whole thing. And I'm just like, what is this? And it's the number one show, the number one show on the most popular list. I mean, what's next? Sex Court TV?
Oh my
Number
God.
2.
Yes.
We're not talking about Ahsoka for this.
But this is the number one show. The number one show.
I know.
On their most popular list. Fuck
That's
Ahsoka. That
crazy.
show's garbage. The number one show on that list. And I'm just like, and by the way, there's no sex. Like they never, once they show them going out on a date and talking on the date, but there's no sex. There's nothing like that on it. It's just, really? And this has been in the UK for like 7 years. 7 years. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Vessi. Now, like me, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of Vessi, the shoe that claims to be incredibly comfortable and waterproof on top of that. Well, these claims are really interesting to me because as a Canadian who walked around in a lot of snow, and as somebody who likes to go camping and hiking with his wife on the weekends, there's nothing more uncomfortable and horrible than walking around in wet feet. So after receiving my first pair of Vessis and noticing how incredibly good looking the shoes are and how mind-boggling comfortable and flexible they are, the first thing I did was I took them into the backyard to put it to the supreme waterproof test and dipped my feet in my pool. Guys, my feet were bone dry, and like 20 seconds after having them in the pool and I touched them, the shoes themselves were also bone dry. Guys, seriously, these shoes are stupidly comfortable, they look great, and they absolutely lived up to the claim of being waterproof and keeping my feet dry. I absolutely love my Vessi shoes. So guys, if you want shoes that are good looking, are ridiculously comfortable, and on top of all that waterproof, you need to head to vessi.com/Campea and get yourselves a pair today. Go to vessi.com/Campea and get shoes for your best summer yet. Anyway, Chris, you came in this morning and we started talking. You've seen this before.
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, this is the only way to date, first of all. I mean, that's just how I do it.
Well, now you can go to the movie before you can go to dinner before the movie because you have a shared experience.
Exactly.
So.
You know, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched this in the UK very briefly where my mom was in the other room and we heard her scream. And she's like, there's porn on the TV. And we're like, no, that's Channel 4.
It's a game show.
This is just a dating show. And it was just a moment of her going, what's the game? You just judge each other based on your bodies. I don't know. It's like Tinder, but public and worse. This is also, though, dating shows in the UK. First of all, overseas, people are way less weird about sex, sexuality, and nudity than we are. Here in the U.S., we're very, very anti-nudity, but we love seeing like people's heads explode. So that's why we also have differences in like what channels these can air on. But one of the chairman of HBO or Max, or whatever it's called now, talked about how prior to its name shift, HBO was the home of things like Real Sex and Cat House. So this shouldn't be something super surprising to any of us that it's on here. And what should be even less surprising, I think, is for people with Max to go, wait. There's a dating show with full frontal nudity. I should
number one on Max.
I should look at it. I should just check it.
Judge for yourself.
Just to see if I'm grossed out.
Or is this
by
even
it.
true? Maybe it was exaggerations, so it's not really.
Here we go.
9
but
hours
it's
later.
Full nudity, and you're just like along with the person going, I don't know, maybe that dong's special.
When the show started and they write like, all right, let's look at the lower half of the body, and they lifted up the things at the very beginning, and you got these 6 guys just stand there with their tongs out, and I'm like, oh my god, what am I watching? And Anne is like laughing hysterically.
It's funny that they start with the bottom half first. Like, you think maybe they would go like that, and then as they progress, they're like, now here's your final. But no, they're
That's
like
when you play strip poker with somebody real
like,
drunk or real confident.
brass
Who's
tacks,
like,
what are we
pants
dealing
off
here?
first?
pants first. And you're like,
wait a
whoa.
minute, you do know you're wearing a scarf. You could take that off first.
And they're like, nope.
Pants come off
Jump
first.
in the deep end.
Anyway, the future of television, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, some people in live chat just saying the host looks a little bit like Chris.
Yes.
There was a brief moment where I saw the bangs out of the corner of my eye and I was like, when did I do this show?
And where are my residuals?
Where are my residuals?
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.